Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Jay from TNJ, and welcome to the 2021 season here on the channel in Season 3 in the Seattle Mariners franchise. And if you guys know, you've stuck with me the first couple of seasons, it's been kind of rocky, and primarily in Season 1, I think it was our pitching in particular, and we just could not get that going. Then in Season 2, it was our bats. It seemed like our bullpen was really good, but then our bats pretty much kind of died, and then we went on that epic 10-game winning streak to end the season in Season 2. Then we ended up losing the one that actually mattered the most, the one to go to the playoffs, or at least force a game 163, and we end up losing that one. So we do end up actually kind of skimming through spring training, and I kind of look at some of these guys like Ramos and even Marte, and I thought that I would give them a shot at the MLB level, but they just did not have the spring that I would hope for them. And I think that I'm gonna kind of ride it out with our older guys first and see if our prospects do well to start the season in the minors, and then eventually move them up. I'm pretty sure Marte is going to be up at some point this year. I just don't know when. So in the offseason, I did float around the idea of signing Justin Turner. He went through free agency not being signed at all, and that's pretty unexpected for a guy that's hit 300 at least for the last 5 years, and he only wants about 6.4 to 6.6 million, so that's what we give him, and he ends up signing with us. So that's another bat in our lineup, and it kind of relieves the young guys a little bit because, you know, we don't have to rush them up at all, or, you know, put them on the opening day roster before they're ready. So I want them to develop a little bit more, especially with the new coaching staff that I have, and see what they can do. But that means that kind of takes away a spot in the lineup, and that guy is going to be Domingo Santana. Remember, we did sign him to an extension last offseason, and he kind of had a down year. Hit 253 after hitting 303 the year before. He's definitely got to show me some things going into this season, and we'll see how it goes for him. So we are starting out this episode and this season here in Season 3 in 2021 on the road at Fenway Park, and we are facing the MVP, Chris Sale. Remember, the Red Sox actually had the last 3 MVPs. It was Mookie Betts, Chris Sale, and JD Martinez. So they are just rolling so far in this franchise, and this is going to be good. So this is our opening day lineup. We're hitting Sam Perez at the leadoff spot, and that's kind of a change for us because I did float around the idea of him hitting leadoff. And then the Red Sox look a lot different. They do not have Mookie Betts. They do not have Jackie Bradley. They have Leury Garcia in center field. That's actually really weird to see. So here we go. They have Austin Slater as well in right field, and off to start the game. Here's Sam Perez, but he does fly out to Garcia in center field. So here's David Freese. I didn't show it, but off camera I did sign him in the offseason. Remember, I said I was going to do it, and here he does get the opening day start in the first hit of this 2021 campaign because Tim Beckham actually suffered an injury in pregame, so he actually did not start in this one. So here is Paul DeJong at the plate. Hit over 300 for the first time in his career last year, and he's going to fly out to right field, and that's a put out by the new center fielder for them, Slater. So here's Justin Turner up to the plate. He's hitting in the 4-hole. He hits the ball hard up the middle, but that's right to Bogarts, and he's got an easy out at first base. So pretty much a 1-2-3 inning for the Red Sox as they let up a hit to David Freese. But here we go. Here's our man of the hour right here, our free agent signing, the big one, Corey Kluber on the mound. And here he is facing a pretty good Red Sox lineup. I think they're decent. They definitely lost some talent with Mookie Betts leaving, but I think they're still going to compete in the AL East. But here, Kluber's too good. A 1-2-3 inning in the first inning. That's what we expect out of our new big signing. So speaking of new signings, here's Marwin Gonzalez at the plate, hitting in the 6-hole, and he's going to take one off of the hip to start it out. So his first at-bat as a Mariner comes in the form of a hit by a pitch. So here's Wellington Castillo, who did platoon with Omar Narvaez in Chicago. He's doing the same here in Seattle. His first at-bat is going to be a fly out to center field, and that's going to be out in this inning, as that brings up Malik Smith, who's going to drop down in the lineup to the number 8 hole, and he just swings at an absolutely horrible pitch on that one. So now let's move on to the top of the third. Here's J.P. Crawford looking to go back-to-back seasons with a 300 average. I really love what he does in the 9 hole. His on-base percentage is high. I really like it a lot. Here is David Freese at the plate once again for his second at-bat, and he's got his second hit of the game. That one hits off of the green monster in left field. And David Freese, a double and a single to start this game, as that's guys on second and third with Paul DeYoung, the man you want at the plate in this situation, but he's going to hit a ground ball to DJ LeMahieu at third base. He's going to throw to first. That's Jesus Aguilar playing first for them. So that brings up Justin Turner here with 2 outs, and he's going to hit one, but it's right to Leury Garcia in center field, and the Red Sox get out of that jam. So let's move this one on to the bottom of the 4th inning. Here's Kluber on the mound in a little bit of, not trouble, but I'd say the first base runners of the game here, as there's a guy on first base, and we get the fly out to right field to Marwin Gonzalez, and then we get a ground ball up the middle as Paul DeYoung tags out the runner going to second. So now let's move this one on to the top of the 5th inning. Malik Smith at the plate, adjusting to his new role here in the 8th spot, and here he kind of check swings, but it's just enough to get to shortstop. Bogarts cannot throw him out in time, and Malik Smith is on with that 90 speed. We're thinking steal here, so we do send him. We kind of try to do a hit and run there, but we do swing and miss. But it was a 2-1 count, so it didn't really hurt. So J.P. Crawford continues the at-bat. He gets a pitch right over the middle, and he just pops it up to short left field, and that's an easy out for Bogarts. So that brings up Sam Perez, hitting in the leadoff spot, remember, in the place of Malik Smith, who is trying to drive in, but another short fly ball to center field. So that brings up David Freese, who's 2 for 2. This is the man I want up, but he walks. So that brings up Paul DeYoung, even better, 0 for 2 to start this game, and on a 3-1 count here, he gets a low pitch, and he's going to golf one, and that one is gone. Paul DeYoung with the first home run of the 2021 season, and he makes it a 3-0 game here on the road, as Paul DeYoung pretty much leading our team in RBIs. I expect that once again here in his second stint with us. So here we go. Justin Turner strikes out, and he makes it, 3 outs in the inning. So now on to the bottom of the 5th inning, and, Corey Kluber has not gotten into any trouble so far this game, and here he gives up a hit here with no outs. That brings up Blake Swihart to the plate. 0 for 1 in this game, and he goes to opposite field. And now they got guys on first and second. 2 hits to start out the bottom half of the 5th inning. Brings up LeCastro here hitting in the 9 hole, and Kluber walks him. Pretty uncharacteristic, and he misses his spot by a lot. And that loads up the bases here for Benintendi. He hits a ground ball to first base, and we got a chance to turn 2, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Nice turn there from the veteran at first, Justin Turner. And that makes it 2 outs in the inning, bringing up DJ LeMahieu, 0 for 2 in this game. A 3-2 count. Kluber throws a low and outside slider, but DJ LeMahieu goes and gets it, and he drives in 2 here with 2 outs. And Boston is on the board, as now it's a 3-2 lead. So now here we go. JD Martinez, the former MVP at the plate. He hits one on a 3-2 count as well, and the runner was on the move, and it gets by Uebiyashi in center, who's adjusting to his new position, and he does not take the proper angle to that, and that's going to drive in a run there for JD Martinez. And now they got the tied score here in the 5th inning here, 3-3, but we do get Jesus Aguilar to ground out, and that makes it 3 outs in the inning. So let's move this game along here. Tyler Thornburg is coming out of the bullpen. He's the first out of the bullpen for the Red Sox as we move into the top of the 9th inning here. Uebiyashi, can he get going in this game? He is hitless so far, but not this time. He's going to fly out to left field. So that brings up Marwin Gonzalez. Can he get going on a 1-2 count? He's going to go to opposite field, and that one is going to be deep, and that one is going to ricochet off the wall, and Marwin Gonzalez is going to be on with a double, but he's thinking triple with that 39 speed, and look at the aggressiveness is not going to pay off as he gets gunned down at third. I don't know what we were thinking on that, trying to be too aggressive, And that's 2 outs in the inning with Wellington Castillo up to the plate, who puts a jolt into this one. And that one is going to be run down by Leary. And maybe we could have, advanced on that one, and never know. That's deep in center field. We would have had a pinch runner and maybe could have scored from second. So now let's move this one on to the bottom of the 9th inning. We bring in Dylan Floro out of the bullpen, and the first batter he faced is Bogarts, so he's going to hit one to left center, and that one is going to bounce off the wall, and it's going to be a leadoff double here in the bottom of the 9th inning. That brings up Leary Garcia, hitless so far in this game, but he's going to hit one hard to second base, and that's going to be an out for Paul DeYoung. So that means we're going to bring in an infield in situation, but we do decide to walk Slater to bring up the number 8 hole hitter, and that's Blake Swihart. 1 for 3 in this game in double play depth. A hit to left field, and Malik Smith is going to field this one and come home with it. The runner does tag, and he's just going to beat it out. And what do you know it? We move over Malik Smith from center field because of his arm strength, and then he gives up that. He could have easily had that if he had the arm strength, and he doesn't. So we lose the opener here 4-3 there, as it was a really good game throughout. I'd say it was pretty even, and both aces pretty much did their jobs and gave up 3 runs. But we end up coming up with the short end of the stick in this one, and we end up losing that game. So now we move into the second game of the series, and we decide to quick manage this one. And you can just see Carlos Rodon on the mound for us, and it's not going well. We only have 1 hit to support Rodon as we bring in Yusei Kikuchi, and we end up losing that game there as we could not get anything going on the offensive end. So now we decide to move on to the next game. Let's get a victory in this one. Dallas Keuchel on the mound for the Red Sox. Remember, he did sign with them in the offseason, and once again, giving up runs early on, and we just cannot get any runs as Dallas Keuchel is pitching a gem as we move on to the 9th inning, and we can't do anything. Another runless game here, 0-2 there, as now we're 0-3, so we decide to sim this next game, and we get swept. We lose 4 straight to start the 2021 season, and that's not the start that we were hoping for. So let's advance here in the Oakland series. Well, we at least win that one 10-7, and then we win the game before that one 16-1. Wow. 16 runs to support Corey Kluber. I mean, he had no choice but to win that game. So now we move on to the next series as we face Houston, and now we're in a critical situation here, bottom of the 9th inning with Paul DeYoung at the plate and Tim Beckham at first base. So facing Davinsky on the mound, 3-2 count, no outs in the inning, and we get a pitch, but it's a hit and run situation, and Tim Beckham does not even have the speed to get to second as we get thrown out on that one. We probably shouldn't have hit and run in that situation, but it is Paul DeYoung there with no outs in the inning, and we do end up striking out with Uebiyashi, and they get out of that 9th inning with no damage done. So move on to the 11th inning. Here is J.P. Crawford. He gets a hanger over the middle, and he's going to drive that one. And we get out of here with a victory, getting back to our winning ways here as we win 3 straight after winning 2 of the last 3 versus Oakland. And we at least start out the season 3-5, but we need to win a couple of games, get back on track. I think our offense is starting to warm up now as J.P. Crawford goes 2 for 4 in this game, and he gives us that walk-off home run. So now we move into the next game. We end up winning that one 3-0. So now we're 4-5 with the chance to go back to 500 and pretty much be a 0-0 record, just like we started fresh. So we're facing Forrest Whitley on the mound for Houston as we have Justice Sheffield. I'm getting him confused with his brother already. Just traded for him. And this is going to be the matchup of the 5s here in the rotation. So here's Jose Altuve at the leadoff spot once again, hitting .378, starting out the season pretty well. And this Houston team looks a little different. They have some of the same guys, including Carlos Correa, who is at the plate here, who gets a pitch to hit in the 2nd inning, and that one is not coming back. And Justice Sheffield makes his first mistake of the game here in the 2nd inning and giving up a big fly to Correa. there to make it a 1-0 game here at home. But we do settle down a little bit, get Gurriel to strike out swinging at that one. Here comes Stacy at the plate here with guys on first and second, and he's going to fly out to Malik Smith in left field, and that's going to be an out there to get out of that inning. So up comes David Freese here in the bottom half of this second inning. He's hitting one to right center, and that one is going to get all the way to the wall, as David Freese has started out this season with a pretty hot bat so far, as he's been kind of platooning with different guys. This game I do have him at third base. I believe I have Tim Beckham out of this game, as here's a hit up the middle from Vogelback, and that one gets through the middle, and that one is going to be a 1-1 game here for Vogelback on the RBI single. So that brings up Marwin Gonzalez. Remember, he hit the ball pretty hard off the Green Monster here in the opener, but not going to be duplicated in this one, as that's going to be a double play ball, and they get out of that inning. So let's move this one on to the fourth inning. Here is Justice Sheffield facing Gurriel once more, and he beans him. So now they got a man on first here with Lonnie Chisenhall at the plate, who hits one to the left side, and that one is going to get through, and that's going to be guys on first and second here with one out. So they did bring in Josh Harrison in free agency. Here he swings at a low pitch, and we kind of fall asleep, and both runners swipe bags. So now Josh Harrison continues this at bat, and we walk him. So bases loaded here, one out. Here is Stacy back at the plate, 0 for 1 in this game, and he's going to hit one down the right field line, and that one does get to Marwin Gonzalez, but not before he comes up throwing, and 2 runs come across the plate, making it a 3-1 game here in the fourth inning, as that brings up Altuve back to the top of the lineup, who hits a blooper to center field, and Uebiyashi doesn't have the speed to get there, and that's an easy run there from the guy on third base on that one, and it's a 4-1 game. But we do settle down a little bit, get a little soft liner back to the pitcher, and that brings up Alex Bregman here with 2 outs, and he's going to fly out to left field, and that's going to be the 3rd out of the inning. But now we're down in a hole, 4-1, but we still got a lot of baseball left here in this game. Justin Turner this time, he's hitting one down the right field line, and that one does bounce off of the wall, and he is going to barely slide in safe there with the double here to lead off the 4th inning, his 2nd double of the year. So that brings up Uebiyashi, who hits a liner up the middle. It gets past the pitcher. Altuve comes up throwing, but Uebiyashi does have good speed, as he pretty much gets one of his, I think that's his 2nd hit of the season through 10 games. So here is David Freese, who's swinging a hot bat, and he hits one to right field, and that one's going to get through. And now it's a 4-2 lead here for Houston. We're chipping away. So up comes Vogelback. He hits one deep to left field, and that one is going to be caught, but we are going to tag up with Uebiyashi at second, and he does tag up and gets to third here. So now we got guys on the corners here with 1 out in the inning. Marwin Gonzalez at the plate. He's going to hit one to left field, and that one is going to drop down, and now it's down to just a 1-run lead here in this game as Marwin Gonzalez comes through. I really like him in the middle of our lineup. Up comes Omar Narvaez. He's going to hit one to left field once again. And we're going to tag up with David Freese. Look at this. The momentum was carrying the left fielder back, so we kind of had the advantage there. So that brings up 2 outs. And guys on the corners, J.P. Crawford, but he's going to hit a tapper right back to the pitcher, but I'll take it. 2 runs as we chip away at that lead. So let's move this one on to the bottom of the 5th. Here is Malik Smith at the plate. He's going to drop one in center. And now we got a guy on first base who's got some wheels. So up comes Tim Beckham, who we are going to steal on this one, and that one is going to be a stolen base from Alex Smith, his 4th so far in the season. Tim Beckham continues the at-bat, and he hits one to the left side, and that one does sneak through the infield. And now we got guys on the corners here with no outs in the inning. That brings up Justin Turner hitting in the 4-hole. He's going to hit a ground ball to second. It's going to be a double play, but it is going to score our man from third base, Malik Smith, and that ties the game up at 4 apiece. And Uebiyashi can't keep it going here in the 5th, but we do at least tie this game up. So let's move this one on to the 8th inning. I want to show a little bit of Yusei Kikuchi. He's the guy to keep your eye on in this season. I think this is a make or break season for him. because he did struggle his first 2 years in the majors. But who knows? I mean, this guy looks pretty good so far to start the season. He gets a strikeout there, and now we get another fly ball to right field. And he's looking pretty good to started out in 2021, as that brings us into the bottom of the ninth. David Freese at the plate, who's been our hottest hitter. He somehow muscles that one into center. It's going to drop right in front of the center fielder, and we started out with a hit here in the ninth inning. That brings in Sam Perez. 2-pinch run here with Vogelback at the plate. On a 2-2 count. We're going to run him in motion. It's going to be a liner to first base, and it's a double play.
Bruh.
So, wow, we thought we were going to do some things here in the ninth inning, and a double play ends all that. But that brings up Marwin Gonzalez here on a 2-1 count. He gets a hold of one. The fielder is running back to the wall, and it's going to sneak over. So Marwin Gonzalez comes through with the walk-off home run. I did not think that one had the legs on it. It's only hit 378, and it sneaks over the wall. So Marwin Gonzalez is the hero here and gets us back to pretty much 0-0 on the year. We're 5-5 actually, but we'll just call it a wash as we got swept by the Red Sox. But I think this offense is just getting warmed up, especially with Marwin Gonzalez. I can see the potential here with this lineup, and especially with Marwin Gonzalez hitting in the middle, and as well as Justin Turner. I can definitely see a lot of potential with these veterans that we did add to the roster. So that's going to do it here in this episode. Next episode, we are going to move into the start of the minor league system games as well with AAA and AA. We have a ton of AAA prospects, and I'm excited to see what they're going to do. So hit subscribe, hit that like button. You don't want to miss any Mariners action anymore. So stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.